but none the worse for that, we were going to add, weren't we?
Obviously. At 8:10, you're right up to date with the latest news. Now, it's become a deeply divisive issue. Plans to help working parents with childcare costs are being praised by some as a great step in encouraging women back to work. They have also come under fire, though, as some families will become worse off.
The Chancellor of the Exchequer will be visiting a nursery later to gauge reaction to the new scheme. So what's he likely to hear? Well, with us is the financial advisor Yvonne and mother of two, Imogen Thompson, from the campaign group Mothers at Home Matter. Well, Yvonne, let's start with you. What do you think?
Nick, hi. Well, I think it's a good idea, actually, because the scheme is going to be available to more families. And some cynics amongst us might suggest that maybe it's a political thing with an election coming up in a couple of years' time to sort of win back votes.
But the essential thing is carers are going to be brought into the scheme, right? The definition of carer, that could be rather grey area, couldn't it?
It could, but I think as things go on through the consultation, that will become clearer.
Imogen, to be clear, you wouldn't be eligible for this scheme, would you? Because
no, not at all.
You're your mum, you're staying at home to look after your two children.
Yes, I'm a full-time mother. I've sacrificed a salary. My husband is the sole earner in our family, and as a result, the childcare that I provide my child and my children is not deemed as valuable as that provided as in official childcare.
So you think that
under this scheme?
Yeah. So under this scheme, you would like to be given those vouchers so that your youngest child presumably can go into some sort of childcare.
No, that's the point. We'd like a level playing field. Essentially, we're as a stay-at-home mother, I'm not looking to be subsidised to stay at home, but I definitely don't want to be penalised in the taxation system and also in the benefit system. Let's not forget that the the child benefit system has just cancelled out child benefit for many households where there's one single income. And those parents can now not actually take advantage of this childcare system. So it's favouring one and not the other.
It's such a difficult issue, Yvonne, isn't it? There doesn't seem to be a way of sort of being fair across the whole piece. But is it a good idea to encourage mothers to go back to work? And is this the right way to go about it?
Well, the government have done the research and they reckon that there are a lot of people staying at home, not just women, but also some men as well, staying at home to look after the children because it's not economically viable for them to go. I mean, it's different for people who choose to stay at home and you do your financial planning probably without taking into account what benefits you will receive from the government in order to decide what's best for your family. But I think the big thing about the new scheme is it includes self-employed people, and that's a huge part of the current workforce. Since the financial crisis in 2008, there's been a huge number of people that have registered as self-employed, and they'll all be brought into this scheme.
And we've been talking about 0 hours contract. People are working in all sorts of different ways, aren't they?
Yes.
But also bringing up children in all sorts of different ways as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, is this really keeping up with social changes?
Yes. Well, I think the new voucher scheme will help to determine what they're doing. What we would like to see is how long this particular scheme will last, because there are so many changes, it's difficult to keep up with everything.
You touched on it, Imogen, really in your first answer, didn't you, about how you as a stay-at-home mum, and, you know, there of course are dads doing the same thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, do you feel that there have been a whole slew of things which are making a difference to you?
Yeah, I think the language that MPs have used and the policies that they've introduced recently have stigmatised this area of society, that basically anything that is being introduced at the moment, they're taking benefits or what is essentially a tax break away from one type of family, and actually saying if you earn up to £300,000 as a household, we'll let you have that. We'll let you have that credit, that tax break. Now, I don't think as a society that is where we want to be going, is it? Is that, I mean, Yvonne touched on the fact that it will be actually available to more families, but should we not be looking at the lower end of families,
And the
not
other thing-
high earners?
The other thing is that, you know, obviously you've made a choice. You don't want to
Yes.
go back to work. There are other people who simply can't because the childcare becomes unaffordable, actually. But do you think that will... So this could make a difference to those types of families?
I think you have to be very frank with yourself when you're looking at having children. Most people do plan to have children, and you do plan your finances accordingly. Even conceiving that child, you look at saying, well, can we afford this, and what's best for our family? And I think basically at the moment everything is being skewed to one type of family, and to say that you are, you know, if you are dual income earners, then you have the respect in this society. You don't have it as a stay-at-home mother or father.
We know that our viewers will be very interested in this and will want to contribute to the debate. But for the moment, we have to say thank you very much to Yvonne and to Imogen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's just after 8:15. This is Breakfast. And coming up on the programme today...